Hi, it's Dr. Saab. In today's video, I'm going to show you 5 tips and tricks that you need to know for your Mercedes. So if you own a Mercedes that has this style screen and this style screen, then this video is perfect for you. Check out my playlists. I may have done more videos on your particular car, so please check those out. I wanted to say a big thank you to Lucas Mercedes-Benz Wolverhampton for making this video possible. Now the first tip I'm going to show you is, instead of using the buttons or the screen to use all the main functions, you can just prompt Mercedes to do what you want. So you can press the buttons here to control this screen if you want to, or you can touch the screen if you want to, but I prefer to say, "Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Put the heated seats on."
Seat heating is turned on.
You can see the heated seats have come on, but I can press the button and do it manually if I want to, but I can also say, "Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Heated seats off."
I'm switching off the seat heating.
So that's a quick way of using some of the main functions in the car. One of my favorite ones is changing the ambient lights. I could say, "Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Change ambient light color to red."
Okay, I'm changing the color.
How cool is that? Changing the ambient lights. If I want to change it back to the last color, just say, "Hey Mercedes,
how may I help you?
Ambient lights purple."
Okay, I'm changing the color.
How cool is that? Another one is when setting destinations. You could go into your menus and find a previous destination, but I prefer to say, "Hey Mercedes,
how can I help?
Previous destination.
Please select a destination.
1.
Calculating route.
There you go.
Please proceed to the highlighted route.
Now I've set my destination as quick as that. Instead of touching buttons and touching screens, it's probably safer for you just to ask Mercedes to do it for you. Now another favorite feature that I've got is the automatic seat positioning. Now this is, I've just on purposely put this seating position like this, and I can control the seat controls using the controls there by the door, but I prefer to use this option on the screen. So in here, if I go to home, go to comfort, then click on position seat automatically. Now use the slider to put in your height. I'll click on start positioning, and watch now when the seats and the steering wheel will adjust to the recommended driving position that Mercedes think you should have. How cool is that? Now if I want to send it back to my driving position, let's put it as, I think I'm about 5'6", 5'7", let's try 5'6". Click on start positioning. You can see the seats and the steering wheel will adjust to that driving position. How cool is that? And then what I would do to save this driving position, all I would do to save this is press M, press a number. That beep is to say that seating position is now saved. While I'm on seats, another really useful feature is the easy entry and exit. So if you do have the electric memory seats option and electric seats option, then you can also have easy entry and exit. And what will happen is the seats and the steering wheel will move, so you can get in and out much more easily. And to set that, just go to home, go to settings, go to vehicle, go to comfort, click on easy entry and exit feature, and then you can set seat position and steering wheel position if you want to. So you can see it's moving back. You can see the steering will move back as well. How useful is that? Now moving away from the screens, moving to the top, we do have the Mercedes Me button and SOS button. If you ever have a breakdown, press the Mercedes Me button. Don't use the repair puncture kit in the rear. If you have a puncture, use the Mercedes Me button and get Mercedes breakdown service to come out. So if you get a puncture on the motorway, legally you're not supposed to be changing the tyre. That's where that button on the top there may help you out. When you press that button, basically the car has a built-in SIM card. So when you press it, you'll automatically make a call to the breakdown service. So someone through the speakers will speak to you to check if you're okay. They'll ask the issues. If it's something they can resolve over the telephone, so they may run diagnostic checks over the phone and any issues with the car. And if they do need to send out a breakdown, they'll send out the breakdown recovery people to you. They'll know your location because you've pressed that button. It'll automatically give that location to them, and then you can just sit back and relax. Now this breakdown cover, for the UK, we get UK and European cover 24/7, which is really, really useful. And it's complimentary from you for 3 years. Now, if your car is older than 3 years, as long as your car gets serviced by Mercedes-Benz dealer, it renews for a year. And then you can keep getting the car serviced from a dealer up to 30 years. And that's how long you'll have the breakdown service for. Now you might be thinking, what happens if your car is really undrivable? Then you'll get a complimentary courtesy car, and they'll try and get it as quickly as possible. Now bear in mind, on the weekends it may be a bit harder to get the courtesy car as quickly, but they will try their best. They are really good like that. The great thing is, if you break down, let's say you're from the Midlands and you break down in Scotland, what the breakdown service will do, will take your car that's broken down to the nearest dealer, and they'll try and fix it there. Once it's fixed, they'll then send it to your local dealership where you can collect it. So when you go back to the Midlands, the car's still not fixed, don't worry. If it's still in Scotland being repaired, they'll then drop it off to your local dealer, and then you can return your courtesy car there, and then you can take your car back once it's fixed. How useful is that? Now, if you don't want to press the Mercedes Me button to contact the breakdown service, no problem. You can contact them directly. To find their number, just head towards the door sill. So if I open the door, you can see the number for the breakdown service. How useful is that? Now, to get connected to Mercedes Me, to use the app and to make sure you're connected correctly to your car, so when you do use the Mercedes Me functions at the top, what you need to do, if you bought the car new from Mercedes, they'll have automatically connected your car to Mercedes Me account. But if for whatever reason you may have purchased your car through a leasing company, something like that, then you will have to go into the dealership, provide your V5 document, your registration document for the car, your driving license or a passport, to just show proof that you own that car. And if you don't have those details, maybe you may not have the registration record, the V5C, what you can do is, let's say it is through a leasing company, contact the leasing company, get them to get you connected to Mercedes Me, and if they can't do that, that's fine. What you'll then need to do is just get them to write an email to provide proof that they are happy for you to be connected to Mercedes Me account. Some leasing companies can be a bit funny, only because when you hand that car back in, you'll still be connected to Mercedes Me, so you'll still be able to see where that car is. You can unlock doors from the app, which is quite useful in an emergency, but not useful if you don't own the car. In terms of the repair puncture kit, don't use that. Don't use the repair puncture kit. Again, just use the Mercedes Me breakdown service, either by pressing the button there or contacting the breakdown recovery with the number. Because when you use the tyre puncher repair kit, that will destroy your tyre, and that means you will have to replace it. It'll give you enough maybe miles to get to a tyre repair shop, but that tyre won't be repairable, so you will have to replace it. That's why I always recommend you always use the breakdown recovery provided by Mercedes. Now, another tip that's come from a viewer that mentioned it on another video that I did. They had an issue where the audio would fade out, and they couldn't understand why. The audio fade out could happen usually when you're trying to stick the car into reverse, or it's an audio warning. So I'm going to show you how to change the audio fade out so it doesn't do that anymore. That can be really, really annoying. So to change the settings, just go to press the home button, then go to settings, then go to assistance, click on parking, and now you've got the option of audio fade out. If I give that a click, now you can see mine are switched on. So what happens when I select reverse and I'm listening to radio, the volume will decrease dramatically, which allows you to concentrate, I guess. And that might be really useful for some people, but if you find that a bit annoying, especially for warnings and stuff like that, you can switch it off. So to switch it off, just press those two, and there you go. Now when I select reverse, the sound from the radio, whatever I'm listening to, will not fade out. How useful is that? Let me know in the comments if you found that useful and if it helped you out. Now to fuel your car, you just open the flap just like that. But did you know you can store this into here? And now that's not going to scratch your paintwork down here. And then when you're finished, stick it back in just like that. And then you got your tire pressures here. And once you're finished, just close it and just make sure you lock your car. But did you know, whenever you're ready to fuel your car, let me just start the car. Before you fuel your car, if you're not sure which side your fuel flap is, you can see the fuel icons there and a little triangle. And the triangle is telling you which side your fuel cap is. How useful is that? So mine is on the right hand side, and the number there, that's just telling you how much range the car has got. Now this could be much higher if you're driving on the motorway. Because this car's being driven locally, then the mileage, you can see it's a bit less. So the range is 294 miles at the moment. How useful is that? Now a bonus feature that I want to show you is the hold function. The car needs to be in drive, and let's pretend I am driving and then I stop. So I just gently stop, and while I've stopped, I will then push the brake, and you'll notice the hold function appear. This is really useful when you're at a traffic light situation, and then when you're ready to go, you just press the accelerator pedal and you're away. And again, if I want to stop again, gently stop, push the brake, and then the hold function appears again. And then you can keep pressing the brake, no problem. But as soon as you press the accelerator, it releases, and then you can drive. Very useful. Thanks for watching this video. Please subscribe, as it really helps me and the channel grow and create even more content. Please like this video. Also comment if you have any suggestions or questions. There is a new thanks feature. If you want to donate to the channel, then please feel free to use this feature, and any money raised from YouTube will be used to buy more equipment. Thanks for watching.